All right, everybody, come on up in here. Let's get this started. Give everybody a couple seconds to get up in here. Chill for a second. Let's let the back room get loaded up before we get started, all right? All right, everybody, what's happening? It's your boy, Quantum Merrick, coming back with you. What's happening with everybody today? All right. We're not going to spend too much time on this. It's a Financial Friday. That's what we call these, Financial Friday, all right? We're going to cover a few topics. I'm not going to spend all day up here, but I want to make this into an ongoing series to where on Fridays early we can discuss matters of finance, growing capital, getting money. This is about getting money. All right, a subject that's near and dear to everyone out there. No matter what your financial state is, you're going to always need more money. That's a fact, Jack. All right, no way around it. Money is going to be, I hate to say the root of all evil, but it definitely drives the wrong ideology at times. But we got to get some of it. All right, it's the only way we can survive in this world is to make it happen. And we're going to need those dead presidents, so to speak, to make life easier. So, all right, so I want to cover a little something here, a little bit of background about why I'm doing this. I can speak for myself in this regard and what I do. I'm in structured finance internationally. I build wealth models and asset management models and asset protection models for companies all over the world. I do it for individuals at specific levels of, where they are livelihood-wise. And throughout the course of the year, what you'll notice is people have their own things going on. And I know in my business, I'm talking to companies, CEOs, I'm talking to hedge fund guys, funds managers, petroleum owners. I'm talking to everyone in pretty much every industry that you could think of, all corners of the financial landscape, or simply just the business landscape in and of itself. The marketplace is wide open. So in my estimation, I'm one of the ones that I have to make a lot of calls, a lot of sales involved in what I do a lot of the time. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to sell people, but I have to have a sales demeanor. I have to understand markets. I have to understand how to grow capital, how the financial markets work, value, supply and demand, et cetera, et cetera. You guys understand that. What's valuable is expensive, and what's not valuable is not expensive and is not available. So availability is everything. Scarcity is where the money is. Okay, if it's something that's scarce and valuable, it's going to hold a lot of value. If it's in abundance, it's not going to be so much value. Okay, so in my experience, throughout the course of a year, you will encounter multiple types of people with multiple types of business situations, and you have to find a way to help their business to thrive and to flourish. If you do so, you will make money. If you fail, you will not make money. It's just that simple. All right, no 9 to 5s and none of that stuff. If you don't produce, you don't make money, you don't eat. So it's just that kind of situation. So I decided I'm going to find some of the areas of how to help people to be better at what they can be, and how to help people to sustain themselves financially throughout the course of a year, despite whether or not you work for someone, or despite whether or not you earn a living punching somebody's clock, or whether you decide to, do what you do moving and shaking with your own thing. What's up, young Mello? What's happening with you, my brother? I'm glad you up in here. Let's get some good knowledge on the table, Mello. What's up, Miss Lopez? How you doing? Thank you for jumping in here. We appreciate you. Omar, my guy, what's happening with you, man? Hi, Omar Tilly in the house. So, you know, guys, and I'm talking to Omar and Young Mello. You guys know we talk about the Panthers every day. You know, we on the various platforms doing our thing. And we spend a lot of times talking about sports or whatever, but rarely do we have a chance to huddle up. Let's talk about the things that keep the glue together so that we can get on those lives and have a good time and experience, you know, joy and debate and the heat and the pleasure of talking about our team. But we can't do that if we ain't got money coming in, brothers. If you don't have money stacking in the background, if you don't hear those coins dropping in the jar in your granddaddy's jar by the bedpost of your bed, you ain't doing it. So back to what I was saying, in my estimation, you have to have a way to find legitimate operations so you can continuously fold money and stick it in your pocket. Whether you are asleep, whether you are awake, whether you're at the grocery store, whether you're at the mall, whether you're getting a tire rotation, it doesn't matter. You have to have ways to get money. And I'm going to show you some ways that you can do that. Okay, so for everyone that's out there working like a regular job, this applies to everyone. So you don't have to be a mega millionaire to understand what I'm about to lay down for y'all today. Okay, you don't have to be a doctor or an attorney or an astronaut making $200 to $300 a year to benefit from the information. This is for anyone with a rather minuscule amount of discipline. Right? If you can muster a minuscule amount of discipline, you will begin to grow your wealth. And I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that. Okay. Now, this is not so much about trying to get rich quick. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you guys, there is no such thing. Period. There will be people out there that will visit you and will knock on your door, or they will stop you in stride while you're going to get a sandwich from Panera Bread or wherever you're going. And they will try to present these things to you as if, hey, man, you can get wealthy overnight. Hey, get on this opportunity. It's going to pass you by. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're not going to make this money. And you go to ask them, what is it all about? And then they go, blah, 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 blah. And you go, this sounds good. Or no, it doesn't. At the end of the day, there's no get rich quick, guys. And I'm going to be honest. You have to build your wealth from your own ground up using your own model or the model of someone like me. I'm going to show you how to do it. If you put this in place, mark my words, by the end of 2025, you will see a modest return on what you have. Will you be wealthy? Well, it all depends on what you put into it. Will you be rich? It all depends on what you have to put into it. But I guarantee you one thing, it will be an education that you will not receive at any post-secondary university or whatever. They're not going to teach you a lot of this stuff. This is tried, true, tested, battle tested, in the trenches type of information. So strap on your boots. All right. Load up your magazines. Put on your hard hats. It's time to go in. All right. So here's the deal. I like to look at investments in the primary market to begin with. Now, you guys have seen the stories, the 30 for 30s out there for the athletes that have had money and have gone broke because they hired a financial advisor that screwed them over. That does happen. And the reason why is because of one thing and one thing more so. It's not the financial advisor that screws you over. Even if you hand him 50 million bucks and he loses all your money and you're living out of a cardboard box the next year, it's not the financial advisor. I think you guys all know what I'm going to say here. It's you. You lose your own money, all right? Because you don't do the necessary due diligence to understand what you're doing. Financial literacy, all right? So the way you make this jump is like this. If you have anything, and again, this is not advice to tell you go out and do this. This is what I've done. It works for me, okay? This is what I've shared with people to give them direction. And if you take the information, you help yourself with it, beautiful. Okay. That's what the point of this is. It's not to sell you to go and do something specific. No, it's just to give you an understanding as to how to angle your trajectory towards wealth and independence. That's what this is about. So the way you do this, guys, okay, you go out. If you have any type of asset or any type of income that you're earning on your job, you want to set aside, if you can, anywhere from 20% or 30% of your net income. Gross won't count. You set that aside in a decent little savings account. Okay. As you set that fund aside in a savings account, what's going to happen is it's just going to sit there. It's not going to pay you next to nothing. I think you guys all know that. The banks they don't favor savings accounts and give you great reward for keeping your money in there. It's not how it works. But your money will be secure, which is what you want. You rather your money be in your account versus in somebody else's account. That's the idea. You want to sit on your own money. All right? Because you have an ideology to grow it. Now, from here, there are various mechanisms like trading and day trading and crypto and foreign exchange. There's so many different ways, but all of that's going to require an education that you got to put time into mastering. And it can be profitable if you take the time to learn it through and through. Most people will do it. Some people won't do it. Those ventures are kind of a toss-up. They can be very, very beneficial and profitable, and they can be not beneficial and profitable. It depends on you. Okay. Now, I'm not steering anyone in those directions, although it can be beneficial and it can work out to your advantage. All right. I'm not going to point anyone over there. Okay. So what I want you to focus on are your standard stock portfolios. Okay. This is very simple stuff. Okay. And I know when most people hear stocks, they go, "Oh my God, it's stocks!" Oh, they go crazy because the numbers, and you start thinking of Wall Street and all of the calamity on Water Street down there. They throwing stuff and everybody's going crazy. That's not the ideology, because you're not a broker and you will never see the trading floor. So don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is understanding the market, period. Now, watch this. There's no one in this world that's above age of 21, sometimes 18 or above, that's working a job that is responsible enough to earn a paycheck or any kind of income for that matter, that's not out there engaging in enterprise every day. Now, here's the thing. You see these brands all the time. You go to McDonald's, Walmart, tire companies, clothing manufacturers that you come across, manufacturing entities that you see there, 18-wheelers on the freeway. You look up there, you see Cisco or US Foods or any of these entities that you see every day. Your eyes start to grow accustomed to logos, so you understand what you're looking at. You see Subway when you go to buy a sandwich. You see Hardee's and McDonald's and Wendy's and all these places, KFC. And then there are the ones you don't hear about, like LabCorp, medical facility companies and things like that, hospitals. You've seen all this stuff if you're a functioning adult. No excuses there. So do you understand what you're looking at when you see, I just saw them open, I don't know, 5 Taco Bells within a 2-mile radius of my house. Well, there's a reason for that. They're doing very well. And then you may see other companies starting to downsize and shut down certain locations, like Jack in the Box. You see fewer and fewer of those because they're downsizing to protect the company's bottom line. They don't want to go out of business because they're trying to operate too many locations. So they're overextended. These are companies you don't want to invest in. So what you do is you use, like we football guys like to say, the eye test. Shout out to PPP. Now, there are other ways to look at this stuff. If you want to use statistics and numbers, shout out to Elaine. Same thing. So being an intelligent person, what you want to do is familiarize yourself with companies. Now, there are various places to go to read about these entities. You can go to The federal website, of course, you can go and check out the 10K forms. You can start looking on that. You can start looking at what they made that year, what the management team looks like. You go on to the federal, the name of that website. I have to get that for you guys and post it on the community section or something. I'll come back and do that for y'all. But there's a site that publicizes all the companies that are on the S&P 500. That's the way you want to start with your first line of investment structuring. So once you have a savings account and you understand what you're looking at in terms of businesses out there and what they're doing, you start to read about these entities when you go to the specific website I'm gonna give you. And then you start understanding what this company can do, what they've done, how much money they've made in the past 10 years, et cetera, et cetera. Once you know that, now you're ready to start buying into their stock. This is where it gets good, okay? So once you have found the companies, and let's say you're only designating about 20 or 30% of your income. Now, if you can go out there and buy some Jordans and all this stuff, don't tell me you can't buy stock. Because if the rubber hits the road, those Jordans are going to wear out, and that's going to be your investment right there on your feet, gone. A stock or a bond will always grow or go down in value based upon the market, but at least it's a valuable commodity that you'll always have until you tend to trade it elsewhere or you bequeath it to someone else. Either way, you're going to do very well with that particular piece of asset. Okay, it's going to be a income producing asset. That's what we're after right now. 2025, we want income producing assets. Okay, it's one thing to make money, but it's another thing to spend it and be gone and have to start all over again. See, you want to make your money work for you. What up, Nick Tri-State? Welcome, my brother. We're dropping some knowledge today, man. I'm dropping the jewels, Nick. I know you. You're a money man. You got to get up on this, Nick. All right. So, money management, getting your funds in hand, okay? When you start saving 20 to 30% of your income and you stick it in a savings account, some people are not aggressive enough out there to be cognizant of where to apply that money and go out to try to invest it in some private equity. Now, let me just take a little detour right quick. You have public investment and you have private equity. So on the left hand, public investment is going to be those that you can utilize on the stock exchange. You can buy these types of assets all day long. And then to the right, you could buy stuff like, I don't know, your friend comes up to you and say, hey, man, I got a car wash. I'm starting a car wash, man. I need about 10K. You mind putting 10K into that for me, man, so we can get this car wash off the ground? And you say, yeah, sure. And you drop the 10K. And all of a sudden, 3-4 months in and the summer rolls around, but he notices that all of the cars are going over to Sam's Mart to get their cars washed, and they're just bypassing his little car stand. Guess what? Now he's not selling car wash packages. And you know what? Your 10K investment, all those tire scrubbers and all that, those brushes and all the soap that you spent your 10 grand to help him invest, it's now going to be sitting in a storage room because no one's coming to buy the car wash packages. So now you're screwed up. Now you lost your 10K. That's private equity. Guys, ladies, I'm going to tell y'all something. Private equity is okay, but only after you have very stable investment in the primary market in S&P 500 first. So I would start there. And as you make good money over there, then you move over to private equity and you start trickling down your investments in very, very small amounts. And that's why most athletes go broke, because they go heavy private equity and very, very small securities and public investment. And that's where things go crazy. And then when they go broke, the financial advisor takes the rest of their cash and they've dumped all their cash into their homeboys, car lots and all this crazy stuff. And then they have like a small fraction of their money in the securities because they don't see the huge returns in it. So it turns them off. And then they decide not to go down that road and then they go broke. That's what generally happens. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all how to do the opposite. All right. Show y'all how to do the opposite. So we're going to focus on public investment. Securities is where it's at, everybody. Securities being stocks, bonds, debentures, different types of annuities, things like that. But for this particular segment, we're going to just focus on stock because it's the easiest thing for people to get into. Now, like I said before, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay. All right. Everybody be liking this stuff. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that, Nick. Thank you, man. So look up. If you want to do the best with your funds to ensure that you have something to stand on at the end of the year, always go this direction I'm going to show you. Now, your boy Quantum happens to understand how to set these things up so you can actually take flight. I would recommend that you start with a trust. Okay? Set up a trust structure. Now, this is stuff that I do. I do these for people. I do trust structures and all that with people. Because there's a certain thing about the capital gains and stuff like that and how to move your money around in there and all of that. And you don't want to be sitting on that kind of portfolio at the end of the year. And then somebody comes and let's say the course of a year, a fraudster tries to hit your account or somebody tries to sue you for something. And all of a sudden you got all your holdings in your name sitting in that over at that account that I'm going to talk about that you can create. And all of a sudden, guess what? Boom, you lose it all because now you got to pay off a judgment. All right. I'm going to show you how to avoid that. If you have a savings account, that's cool. Put a couple grand in there. You're straight for right now. But here's the next step. We create a simple trust structure designed to invest, designed to take the burden of all of what will hit your money management area, not you. You will continue to go to work. You will continue to sell what you sell. You will continue to do business and commerce. You'll continue to do what you do. But this will be aside from your investment structure, your investment portfolio, your trust that's actually going to be tasked with the obligation to produce for you when you're not doing it. So this is how you make money when you sleep, everybody. Money is not made when it's in your pocket. It's made when you buy things that increase in value. That's when you make money. You don't make money when you sell something. Like, you got let's say a PS5 or some PlayStation, and you sell it to somebody, you buy it for $300, you sell it for $500. Oh, I made $200. Yeah. But how about this? How about you have the PS5 and you get 10 people in there wanting to buy it, and then you sell it for a future value for higher amount, and then you put that into something that's going to roll over and produce more money. That's how you make money. That's what we're going to do with the stock. So let's take, for instance, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on this. I beat myself up about this all the time. Oh my God, I just can't believe this. I was telling a very special person last night about a story. I remember in 2020, man. Oh my God, man. When let's say C-19 hit the world. And we were all floundering, right? Fighting over toilet paper in the store and all this stuff, right? Couldn't go anywhere and everybody stuck in the house. And I remember when the funds were very, very copious and abundant at the time, at least for me. And I remember looking on my trading index and I said, because I was flying around a lot. I was flying a lot. And I remember seeing American Airlines on the thing. And I looked at it and I was like, this makes sense. But then I think the stock was at like $8 a share. I'm not lying. It was like $8.48 or something crazy. It was like $9. It was, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm looking at this like, should I grab it? And I was like everybody else. I became frightened of the idea that I'm going to sit on all this stuff. What if the airline never recovers? What if no one ever flies again? I'm like, God, man, I've been sitting on a lot of stock that I can't even sell because no one will buy it, especially if it's trading for $8.48 a share. I'm like, crap, man, I don't know if I want to buy that. And everything was down. I mean, hotel stock was down, like Hilton, and all the brands were just tanked out. And I was looking at all these stocks like, if I buy them now, what if it takes 5 years for these things to recover? I don't want to be chucking my money into something for 5 years and not see a return. And me not being aggressive enough, okay? I knew better. I was smart enough. I was intelligent enough, but I wasn't aggressive enough to take the chance. And I said, I'm going to pass. Oh my God, why did I do that? Oh man, I don't even know what American Airlines is trading at today. It's probably $80 or $90, maybe more than that. I have no idea. I haven't even looked it up here in a little bit. But man, if I would have just grabbed 1,000 shares of that or 800 shares of that or something, give me at least 100. I'll take them now. Oh man, the money I would have made. The money I would have made. Oh my God. I think about that. And you know what I went out and did? Me being a Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I went out and bought a gold chain. I bought gold chains and stuff like, yeah, I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna have this gold chain on. And I was like, okay, it's cool. I'm gonna wear the gold chain. And I'm just remembering, man, I ended up selling the gold chain a little later. But the amount of money that I spent on that gold chain, everybody, you guys know what a Franco chain is. Things are expensive. And I spent a nice pretty penny on it. And I'm thinking about this. I'm like, dang, man, I bought this gold chain because I wanted to look good during C19. And I was shining too. I mean, that thing was popping. And everybody was walking around like, yeah. But when this is all said and done, what your money gonna look like? And I didn't take advantage of the stock, man. And I remember when I had to sell the chain, what they gave me for it, I was like, man, what are y'all talking about? They were like, yeah, but we can make and break the numbers how we want, and the government protects entities that buy this stuff because it may be fraud or stolen or some crazy excuse they gave. And I was just sick to my stomach. I'm like, man, I gave away thousands of dollars just because they want to protect the integrity of the dealers who buy gold. And you know what I learned? Had I took that same money and dumped it into American Airlines, man, 5 years ago, oh my God, I lost thousands buying a gold chain. If I'd have took that gold chain money, bought that stock when it was low at 848, man, I kick myself thinking about that every single freaking day, man. Like literally kick myself like, yo. And it wasn't just that. It was other companies on there. Like I said, hotels were on there. The hotel industry was suffering. Restaurants were down. Restaurant industry was suffering a little bit. Grocery stores and stuff were still doing well because, people had to keep buying essentials. Like Walmart was doing well. I think Amazon was still doing, because we had to get deliveries. No one was going out. So deliveries were coming in. People were doing their thing over there. What's up, 336? Man, I was like, God, man, all that money that I just saw. And you know what's crazy? It was like I was standing in the eye of a hurricane, just looking around. And I'm looking at all this prospective money that I just lost. I'm seeing trucks rolling for UPS. I'm seeing FedEx trucks. Those dudes didn't stop delivering and making money. They were still moving. They were moving packages, bro. They were dropping stuff off at your door, ringing the doorbell, boom. And you know something else I noticed? The delivery companies were killing it. I said, dang, if I'd have just jumped into delivery money, man, I would have been killing it. And I didn't do it. Me being as smart as I can be, I was just stupid during that time. And I just can't believe it. I think back 5 years ago, man, I'm like, God, man, we can't know everything, everybody, but we can try to, assimilate to the best of our ability to get something out of what we can. And I screwed up. I said, shoot, man. And I just recall that. And I said, never again will I make those kinds of mistakes. When I see an opportunity and I'm going to do some research, I'm going to continue to study and then educate myself on companies and things like that. And here's what I do. After you have a trust structure set up by yours truly, he will help you. Quantum will look out for you guys, get you straight. Get your trust structure set up, right? The monies that you have in your savings account, you can now move that over and start preparing yourself for the purchase. But there's one other step. You got to get a certain type of account. Start doing your thing. 336, I did buy a chain. And I screwed up, man. Hey, I didn't buy just one chain, 336. I bought like 4 of them, man. I mean, I spent a grip. I can't even believe I did that now, man. I'm looking back like, God, why did I buy those chains, man? Man, I felt like your boy when Debo took his chain. My grandma gave me that chain. Man, I was running to the car, man. I was like, God, man, why did I do that? And when I went to sell all of them, I got rid of all of them because I'm like, I don't need this stuff. And they just stuck me, man. They hit me good. They were like, yeah, man, we'll take these chains off of you, but this is what we want. This is what we're going to give you. And I look back on that like, what if I just bought those stocks, man? It's all good, though. So I'm going to game y'all to something, man. When you go to start using your money now, people, you think about it. You'll spend, let's say, for instance, you guys got $20 in your pocket and you're hungry. you'll stop on the road at KFC and buy a little 3-piece snack or whatever it is. You'll buy McDonald's or whatever. You'll go through $20 like it's nothing. You'll put $50 in your gas tank just to ride up and down the streets of your city for nothing. And that's money you will never get back, and you burnt that energy doing nothing. I'm going to show you guys how to get this money while you're in the bed sleeping. So when you actually get the trust, you then open up a special type of account, what allows you to start doing what Quantum will show you. You will then be able to start using the money that you had in your savings account with your trust being the owner of your account. And now you can start buying these assets. Now, here's the kick. Here's where it gets real good. All right. As you're buying your stocks, right? You're buying them low, but you're not trying to sell. Okay. Let's just be real here. Remember, I told you, you make money when you buy the stocks, not when you sell it. You make money when you buy it at its lowest traded volume. And in the event that you have to sell later, you can, and hopefully you'll sell at an increase, so you make money. Now, you have a little capital gains tax on it, which ain't crazy. It's warranted. You don't have to pay the tax, everybody. But it's cool because you're not taking a loss. And even if you take a loss and your stock tends to dip a little bit, that's cool because at least you're not taking a loss that I did on that gold chain. So you're still saving money. And that stock is either going up or going down as you sleep. And it depends on how the company is enacting in commerce on a daily basis, how that company is performing. So the way you learn to determine where you just start buying these things, you have to understand the management team behind the company, knowing what their goals are. You can read about this in their executive summary. It'll lay it all out. You'll know about the company. You'll know how much they made Q3, Q4, Q1, Q2. You'll know about all of the things they did the past 5 or 10 years when you pull up the 10K form. Okay? You can see all of that stuff of what these companies performed at. And I'm talking about blue chip companies. Now, you don't have to go out and buy Tesla. You can. But there are other companies out there that are not on the S&P 500. They're maybe the Fortune 500. You can go to Fortune 1000 and still do very well. Because some of these companies produce things that you don't know they produce that you use every day, like zippers, like buttons on your shirt, stuff like that, cups in your cabinet, paper plates and things like that you don't think about. Think about it. The last time you went to the store and you bought, let's say for a cookout in June or July, when we go to Unc's meet and greet, and he's got paper plates and stuff out there, you don't give two craps about who made the plates, the paper plates. You're going to just grab them and make a hot dog. But guess what? Those paper plates and paper cups are essential. You need those, and you're going to use them, regardless if you know who made it. And the company that makes and produces those paper plates, they're selling a whole bunch of paper plates in the summertime because everybody's having a cookout in America and anywhere else where it's hot. So you see what I'm saying? So the valuation of that company mass producing their product and selling it on the market is what's driving their stock up, because they're producing for the entire community who is buying their product. So their valuation goes higher. Now watch this. Here's the good part. As you're buying these particular stocks, right? You're sitting on them. Your intent is not to buy to sell unless you are Gordon Gekko and you're buying 200,000 shares and you're trying to be a corporate raider and you're trying to gut a company or something. That's a totally different game. We don't need to talk about that. Not today. We can, but not today. Right now, you start buying these particular companies with the intent to earn a profit margin over time. Now, this is what's going to happen. This is how you start making money now. Diversifying said portfolio is where you start making the money. Understanding when to hold them, when to fold them, like Kenny Rogers. Understanding when to dump them off and when to go and acquire different ones and bigger ones and better ones. And it just completely diversifying your portfolio to where you started with 2 or 3 stocks. Now you got 23 stocks. At the end of the year, you want 43. Put all of your excess money into your portfolio and allow it to trade while you sleep. You don't need a new gold chain. You don't need it, Mello. 336, you don't need a gold chain. You don't need it. All right. What's up, PPP? In the house. All right, Nick Tri-State. You don't need no more Jordans, Nick Tri-State. We good. I think Michael Jordan has made enough money off of us already. Time for him to take a seat. Right now, we need to be banging. Melo said, "Dang, we all got stories like that, Quan." Yeah, we do, man. Oh my God, I kick myself every time I think about that gold chain. That's why I don't buy gold chains anymore, man. I'm like, screw that. It cost me thousands of dollars. But anyway, we don't need to keep putting our money into things that are not going to help us produce while we sleep. We spend so much money on bull crap. I mean, you walk through your living room, man. You got Bluetooth speakers that you probably ain't fired up since the cookout, and it's freaking freezing outside. Where you gonna use a Bluetooth speaker at now? I mean, you got shoes you probably ain't worn in a year and a half. I need to look in the mirror. I know I do. I just look at all the wasted money, man, and you be like, man, I can't believe I put my money into this. My money could have been working while I was asleep, and that is the goal. I'm showing you how to make money in your sleep right now. When you buy certain stocks, and these things are trading while you are asleep, right? If they go up or go down, you have another stock that can bridge. But here is the meaty part about stocks while they trade in your sleep that I wanted to get to. If your stock starts making money while you are asleep at night, stock or stocks, plural, either way, what you can do, instead of selling the stock or taking the monies out, there are different ways you can do this. You can do bridge loans against that stock, so you can go buy more and trade the difference, and then use that leverage amount that you use to buy more stock to pay off or service the debt for the one that you borrowed against. That's another tactic. I won't get too much into that, not on this live. But trust me, your boy Quantum knows all the tricks. Here's the one that I like. When you have a stock, let's pick on one. Let's say Apple. Everybody knows who Apple is. That's a valuable freaking stock, man. It's expensive, but it's valuable. You buy 2 shares of that, man, you ain't never gonna lose any money. Not as long as they're making Apple phones or Apple products. You're never gonna lose money. That stuff will be valuable for a long time. If you have an Apple stock, just take 1 share. They're going to pay you a dividend on that stock. I don't know if it's quarterly or semi-annually or how they do it. Some of them are quarterly, some of them are every 6 months, some of them are even every year. I don't know. Depends on what company it is. But let's say it's paying you a dividend on your investment, because they're treating you like a owner of the company at that point. You can even go to the ownership meetings, like the Berkshire Hathaway meetings with Warren Buffett. He has them every year up in like Nebraska somewhere. Omaha, I think is where it is. But if the company starts to pay you a quarterly dividend, right? Do not take the dividend. I'm gonna give this game away right now for free. I usually charge people for this stuff, but I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all on the line, you're about to learn something. Watch this. Do not take the dividends off of the stocks. Do not sell your stock, okay? It has much more value in your portfolio for you than it does if you sell it or you cash out and take the money. Money in your pocket is dead, because all you can do is spend it, and now you're back to zero. I repeat, money in your pocket is dead weight, because you can only spend it and put you back at zero. Money that is in application will make you money. Okay? Always keep your money in play. I look at my money like little soldiers. If I got $100 in my pocket, that's 100 soldiers I got on the battlefield fighting for me while I'm asleep. If I got $300, that's 300 soldiers fighting for me. I got 1,000, that's 1,000 soldiers. 1,000 soldiers, man, fighting for me while I sleep. Okay? Don't look at it like, oh, it's just money. No, each dollar is a soldier. Whether you got 3 or whether you got 3,000 or 3 million, that's 3,000 or 3 million soldiers fighting. What you do is, when that stock starts producing a dividend, to avoid the capital gain on that, do not take the money. you sign up for what is called a DRIP program with the company. A DRIP, like dripping water. But what DRIP stands for, or what's acronym for, is Dividend Reinvestment Program. Each company has it. They won't tell you that, but they do. You can call any company and they'll tell you all about the DRIP program. Coca-Cola has one. United Way has one. FedEx has one. They all have them. The DRIP is where you make your money, everybody. The DRIP. Yeah, Quantum got a little bit of drip. All right, I might throw in some gear every now and then. I might have a little bit of drip, but not this kind of drip. This is the drip you want hitting you in your face while you're knocked out cold. That's the drip you want, not the kind that's gonna cost you money. All right. So basically, the drip, what it does is designed to take the dividends or the earnings from a stock, and it automatically packages it or repurposes itself back into the company, and it buys you more stock. Now think about compound interest in that light, everybody. Think about what that's going to do over the course of time. If your money is earning money and buying money while you sleep, hey, if I got $100 in a stock, that's 100 soldiers fighting my battle. My 100 soldiers are buying me more soldiers, or they're going to take captive other soldiers. Now my army just grew. So while I'm asleep, my money is working for me because my money is looking for the best opportunity to buy more money. Okay? There's another program I can get into, but I think I'll have another live about that another day. It's a bot program that I'm a part of. These bots will trade for you while you sleep. It's crazy, man. I'll get into that another live. We'll do the bot trading and stuff like that. Crypto bot trading, stupid opportunity. Oh my goodness, it's so stupid. Woo, crypto bots, man. Think about it. You got crypto bots that are AI that are trading for you while you're asleep in crypto. Oh my God, you guys don't even know. I'm telling y'all. But we'll stay right here for a second. So while you're asleep, you are automatically enrolled in a DRIP program, which means that when the company knows it's about to pay you a dividend, it turns around and guess what it does? It starts buying you more stock and placing it with your broker or in your portfolio as you do it. So you may have started with 3 shares, now you got 9. By the end of the quarter, now you got 20. If stock does well, it's buying you more stock as it goes on and on. So now you have compound interest. Now your money is making you more money while you're asleep. Now guess what? I said before, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Don't be discouraged by the small numbers because this is about safety and security. It's not about trying to get wealthy. If you want to get wealthy, you can get more aggressive. I got ways to do that. Oh, believe you me. I can show you how to get aggressive with your money if you really want to go out, but you're going to have to risk all your money to get more money. That's just how it is. If I got $100 and I need to make $300, I'm not going to make $300 by just risking $3 overnight. It's going to take me a long time to get to $300 risking just $3. Or I could take the whole 100 and buy mouthwash in the hopes that the 100 people want mouthwash and I make $300 off the mouthwash. Okay. So it's going to basically be dependent upon how aggressive you want to be. You have to be very, very mindful of your movement. All right. And et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one way of doing it. I got a lot of stuff I can show y'all, man. A lot of things I can talk to y'all about how Walmart does it, how Walmart makes their money. Walmart, I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of people believe that Walmart, McDonald's, you all believe that they make their money selling groceries and flower pots and lawn and garden stuff, or either just Big Macs. That's not the case. Walmart and McDonald's does not make their money in the industry that they're in. They make money in the industry that they're in, but that's not how they make their big money. I'm going to share some with y'all right now. If you ever heard this, know you heard it from Quantum first. What up, Big Tight? Big Tight in the house. Check it out. Walmart and McDonald's makes their money from real estate. I know. It's shocking. It's shocking. I'm going to tell you how their business model works. You ever notice how Walmart or McDonald's always seems to be the big kid on the block. Wherever they go, it's like they're sitting right in the center and everything around them seems to thrive. You ever notice that? You'll see Walmart on the corner and they'll have a huge parking lot and then they'll have these out parcel buildings next to them that are always doing a lot of business. They'll have nail salons and Subway and Cookout or whatever's on their property. They're killing it. I think McDonald's is the same way. McDonald's will be posted up right up beside it. It'll be some kind of bank, or there'll be like a taco shop, Taco Bell or something like that. It'll be some local place, some bike shop or something crazy. And you ask yourself, but you start seeing McDonald's and Walmart's pop up all over the place, every freaking where. But that's not where they're making their money. What they do, Walmart will buy all of the land around its building. They will build their building, and then they'll build the rest of the buildings too, and they'll lease them out. So if you want to be in walking distance of where a Walmart is operating as a business, you got to pay to play to be on their property. So if you see anything within 100 yards or so of a McDonald's or a Walmart, chances are they own that property. And then what they do is land leases. You guys can look this up. You think I'm lying? Look up McDonald's Land Corporation. Watch what that thing is moving at. The McDonald's Land Corporation, they make more money leasing out their land where people will buy and put their buildings up on their land because they know the draw is Walmart or McDonald's. So people flock. When you see Walmart or McDonald's, they already know they got you, because anything around those things will incite hunger or incite you to want to buy something else. And if you pull up, you might go on Walmart and buy a turkey on Thanksgiving. When you come out, you might be like, dang, I need to go on Academy Sports and get a Panthers jersey. Yep, right across the parking lot. Boom. Now you can pay. Now, not only have you spent money with Academy, you've also spent money with Walmart. And you don't even know it. You might be at McDonald's and get you a Big Mac meal. You come out and say, I need to get a car wash though. And you go next door to Sam's, and now you just put money in Walmart in McDonald's pocket. Because what they do is lease the land. They do land leases, or they do building leases, whatever's there. Either they own the parcel and they'll allow you to build your building on their land, and then they'll charge you a land lease fee. That's what they do. But you can invest in these things, guys. It's called REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. So I'm gonna show y'all how to do that. You can actually take the money in your portfolio from your DRIP program, and you can roll it into other investment structures without taking the money out. And you can avoid the capital gains by just rolling your money over. So you can basically just roll it over and become wealthy overnight by not taking the money out, and then allowing it to continue to grow into other opportunities where your money just rolls from one thing to the next, to one thing to the next. There are things like the 1031 exchange. If you have real estate, you can roll it into that, not pay a capital gains. The only time you pay the capital gains is when you take the money out. Anytime you make a distribution in your trust, that's a taxable event. So if you leave your money in, remember, you make money when you buy, not when you sell. If your money is rolling over into all these other entities that you find are worthy of your money, you're going to continue to grow your capital without even taking it out and paying a tax on it. So you're looking at Walmart stock. You're looking at all these different entities where you're making money at. I'm going to tell y'all something funny. Y'all going to get a kick out of this. What's up, Fishbowl? Yeah. Fishbowl, you got a point, man. That's why Walmarts are going into these suburban cities now. They'll get on the outskirts of major cities. Now that's where they're making their money, because the people don't want to come into town to spend money anymore. They want to get as close to the city as possible without coming all the way in. And that's what they're doing with the Walmarts and stuff. So I know a guy, y'all ain't gonna believe this. This is crazy, but I verified it. It's 1,000% the case. Y'all gonna laugh, but watch. I know a guy, an older guy, that works at one of these Walmarts I go to from time to time. When I want to grab some snacks or something, I'll roll up in there. Guy I know by the name of Joe, works at a Walmart. If you guys know that story about the baby when he shot that dude at the Walmart, and he beat the case. He didn't go to prison. This is probably a few years ago. That Walmart is right near where I live. It happened at that Walmart right near where I live, like 6 minutes from my house. And the guy named Joe actually works there. I know this guy. He's an older guy. And you would think the guy, I mean, he dresses like you wouldn't even believe. He wears these orthopedic looking shoes. He wears these khaki little pants. He's always sweeping and mopping. And everybody that comes across this guy, right? They say, "Hey, Mr. Joe, how you doing?" He said, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're always flocking around this dude. And over the years, I'm walking through there, and I tend to know these people because I talk to them there. And I was looking, and every time I go, it's like the management, they're all like hovering around this guy. It's like he's holding a class or something. And I'm like, what is this dude talking about? Every time I see him, he's got the blue little vest on. He's holding a mop or a broom. He's standing at the entrance. And it's like everybody is talking to this guy at work there. I'm like, I'm gonna find out what's going on with this dude, because this is just too interesting. I need to know who this guy is. So one day I'm walking in there and I seen him, and he was standing by the produce. He was over there sweeping by the vegetables. I'm gonna walk up on him. I'm gonna go in and talk to this guy. So I walked up to him and say, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing, sir? You know." He says, "Hey, how you?" So I introduced myself to him. He shook my hand. He said, "Hey, my name is Joe." I said, "Hey, nice to meet you, Joe." And we talking, and he just something he said to me caught my attention, and he said, "I see you in here all the time." He said, "You buy stuff?" He said, "But how's your money working for you?" I was like, "What?" I mean, I didn't expect that to come out of his mouth. I was like, "What do you mean?" And I'm gonna be honest. When you see a guy that's sweeping the floors and stuff, you ask yourself. I don't judge people, but you gotta wonder, what's he talking about? I said, "What do you mean, sir? What do you mean how my money's working for me?" He said, "Do you know how to invest your money?" I said, "Yeah, I know a little bit about investments." I said, "Why are you asking?" And I'm looking at him like, "What do you know about investments?" And man, I got the most humbling experience of my life going from there. He said, "Well, I'm gonna share something with you, my young man." He said, "I'm a very humble guy." He said, "I've been employed with Walmart since 1969. I said, "What?" 1969? And I'm thinking to myself, but you're still sweeping this up? Like, why aren't you a manager or a loss prevention or something? You should be. And this guy's probably in his 60s. He's probably like 69 or 70. He's an older guy. He doesn't look that old, but I can tell based on how he presents himself, he's an older guy. Got to be in his late 60s. And I said, "Let me ask you a question, sir. Don't take offense, but why are you out here on the floor? Like, have they ever approached you to be management or anything like that?" And he was like, "Yeah, all the time." He said, "But I don't need it." I said, "Huh?" He said, I don't need to be management here." He said, "I love what I do." I said, "Well, what have you been doing with Walmart the entire time? Since 69, what have you been doing?" And I'm telling y'all, the story I'm about to tell y'all blew me away. He said he started working for Walmart in the Midwest back when it first began. Like, I don't even know what year Walmart started up. I think it was Arkansas or something like that. Bentonville, Arkansas. That's where they came from. And he said, I was with him when they first started. He said he was like a teenager or something. And he was sweeping the floor, doing what he's doing the same day. And he said he enjoyed the job. Somebody got him a job there. And he was like, okay. And some older Caucasian guy walked up on him and said, "Hey, let me share something with you, man." He said, "You're going to want to give me a part of this." He said, "Walmart's going places." And he said, as he told him that, he'll never forget it, because he said he looked up and people were walking by laughing like, "Yeah, right. It's freaking Walmart." And he said, "Tell me more." And he was an impressionable young man. The guy pulled him to the side, happened to be an executive of Walmart back then. And he said, "We have stock programs and all kinds of stuff. You can buy into the company. It's going to be great. 20 years from now, you'll make a lot of money." And the guy said, Joe said, "Okay." And he proceeded to take his paychecks, start buying stock. I think he said the stock was trading at like $1 or something, $1.38. It was crazy. The number was like nothing. And he said every paycheck he got, he bought stock. Bought it for years. And he still does. Come to find out, man, this guy is a millionaire. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. He said he never got a chance to really, get interested in doing anything else. He just liked sweeping floors at Walmart. He just invested his money, and he just hit the jackpot. And I'm gonna tell you how I know he's a millionaire. I know you're gonna ask, well, how you know that, Quantum? You ain't know that guy just told you anything. No, I actually had a phone call because I told him what I did for a living. He was like, "Oh, you're an interesting guy. I want to learn more about you." And at first, when he asked me that, I was a little skeptical, like, why is he asking me this? And as we talked, we ended up having a phone call, and he said, "I want to introduce you to somebody." And I said, "Okay." He put me on the phone with his financial advisor that happened to manage his stocks and all his investments. And I thought it was a prank. I said, "There's no way this." And the guy was like, "Yes." And the guy had been with like 25 years or something like that. So he's been using the same guy all that time to package his money and all that stuff. And he said, "Yeah, Mr. Joe's doing very well. He's very well off. He owns property all over here and over there. He's invested in this and in that." I said, "What?" I said, "No way." And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, why is he still sweeping the floor at Walmart?" He said, "Because he just likes to do it." I said, "Man, come on." I said, "It can't be real." And I was like, "Bro." And I actually ended up meeting with those guys. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's crazy. I kid y'all not. He said, "Take my number. Let's go get a hot dog or something one day, and we'll sit down and we'll talk." I said, "Okay." Because after the phone call, I was bewildered. I was flabbergasted, man. I was like, "This is crazy." So we went and had lunch. This dude was dressed to the key. When I say, this ain't even look like the same dude. He had on like a dope outfit, man. I mean, he pulled up an Escalade. I'm like, yo, and this is not the same guy that I see every day because he wears like janitor clothes. And I'm like, his work shoes don't even look new. His work shoes are old and worn. I'm like, this is not real. But I'm not lying. Man, he brought one of his stocks. It was like some pharmaceutical stock he had bought. He said, "I'm just going to bring one just to show you because I want to talk to you about some opportunities." And he pulled it out of his briefcase and he laid it on the table while we're eating our hot dogs. And he showed me the valuation of one of his stocks, man. He had like 1,000 some odd shares in the stock he bought like 30 years ago. And he still had it right there. He showed me the pictures of the thing. He showed me all of the documents or whatever that supported it. And his financial advisor showed up. And we sat there and we talked for a good 2.5 or so hours, man. I was in shock and awe. And he told me, so we were done with the meeting, right? We were getting up. And I was walking away and he grabbed me by the arm. And Quantum, I study a little bit. I turned around. Oh, wait a minute, man. He grabbed my arm and he said, "Hey, man, whatever you do, don't share my business with nobody. Don't tell anybody, about what I showed you today." He said, "I don't mind, you can share my story. I don't have no problem with that." He said, "But don't share any of what I showed you." I said, "No worries, man." And I never shared any of that with anybody about what I saw that day when he pulled out of his briefcase. And man, every time I see him now, he's still in there sweeping. I see him every other day. I go in there and he give me this little nod. I give him a nod. I speak to him for a few minutes, but I don't want anybody to know, hey, how you doing, Mr. Joe? Now I know why people were flocking around this dude to talk to him. Now I get it. All right. True story. So I learned how to make your money grow for you and just keep doing what you love to do. You can put your money where you want it to go. Just don't go out there and flounder your money. Don't just blow it, man. Put your money into these vehicles I'm sharing with you. Get you some stocks, let them grow. Get into the drip program, let it produce a return, and just roll it over, okay, over time. Just let your money roll over. Now, this is just beginner stuff. I haven't really gotten into deep stuff that we'll do later on, if you guys want to hear it. So this just gives you an intro on how to step into owning and controlling your own livelihood going forward. This is how you do it. And you'll look up, you might put a $500 to $1,000 into something. By the end of the year, you may make 10% every quarter or something like that. Depends on how aggressive you want to roll your stuff over. Your portfolio might double. You might end up with 2,000 at the end of the year. You never know. But having access to that type of capital and security with your capital is monumental and is paramount to the success of where you'll go. All right. That's where that is. Now, hey man, I'll drop a link. Anybody want to come up, rap with your boy Quantum for a couple minutes? If y'all want to chat, you can. If you like, I'll drop a link right now for my good peoples. Link in the chat. Y'all come on up if y'all want to talk about some things. We can rap. And hey, that's just the intro package of what I can show you guys how to do. But there are certain things you must have in place though before you begin the process of doing what we're talking about. You got to get your bottom line in place first though. You got to get your trust structure set up, or either an SPE, a special purpose entity, which I do all of them. So you can start with an SPE or a trust. Either one, you're gonna need one of those two to shield yourself. There's no need of getting involved in investments if you have no security or no shield. I know a lot of people that jump into investments and stuff like that, and then they turn around and then something happens and they lose it because they weren't properly structured. And then you're mad at the world, you know, whatever. But to me, it's the best security is going into securities, getting your money that way. Now, I'll even venture to say this. Private equity is good, but you have to be very, very mindful of what you're doing in private equity. You have to have an ideology. You better know everything about that business that you're investing in on private equity side, because you can lose everything in the blink of an eye. It's happened to me. You look up one day and boom, you're like, God, man, how did I lose 150,000? Trust me, if you've ever lost 150,000, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've lost 150,000 in my earlier day when I didn't understand where to put money and how to watch it. Man, you just have to understand in life, the world is going to continue to turn, whether you're standing on it or laying on it, one way or the other. If your eyes are open or if your eyes are closed, the world is still making money. Commerce happens all over the world all day. All right. You're going to give people the opportunity to grow and participate in global economics and commerce. You have to be a proponent of that, because it's going to happen whether or not you choose to participate. Why not? I mean, you rob from Peter to pay Paul most of the time, you know, and a lot of people make a lot of money in their businesses, which is great. But the thing about it is, what are you doing with those returns from your business? Are you placing those funds in an environment where it can be beneficial for you and your family in the long haul? Or are you squandering those funds in useless purchases and consumerism? That's where they get most of us at, is consumerism. Oh, we got to have the newest this, the newest that, this and that. Well, that's all right. But if you're going to spend that money, have something making money to replace that. Matter of fact, if you're spending money like that, it should be on your business. You shouldn't be buying it out of your own personal account. Your business needs to be doing that type of stuff so you can write that off. All right. If you're buying cars or, you know, clothing or stuff like that, guess what? If you own a company, you can actually use your company to make those purchases. And a lot of that stuff you can write off and get a tax write-off for that. Okay. Most of that stuff, you need to learn how to be economical with cash and cost. Instead of taking your money and spending it willingly out of your own personal account, let your company or your trust do that. And then you write that stuff off when it's time to defer the tax. You go to the tax deference and boom, you just mitigate that by writing off that expenditure. Now, everything that you would have spent your money on in those taxable environments becomes a write-off, something that you can write off. So if you drive your car a certain amount of distance for your business, guess what? You're allotted gas for that. If you take a client to lunch, boom, you get to write that off. Everything you do should be under the name of an SPE. You should not be using your personal name to do anything. That's not even advantageous these days. It's a loss if you're using your own name to go do stuff. Let's see what Fishbub say. Got to make sure your business is actually making over a certain amount of money, though. What I do see a lot of people try to write stuff off there, rightfully ascribe the hobbyist tag. Yeah, you don't want to be in that hobbyist category. This is what I'm saying, Fish. You have to really build a brand. You have to build an entity that is producing a certain type of business that's making money. Like if you build a business model, you got to be making money in order for it to be classified as an operable business, or you're going to be in that hobby category. If you've bought and sold one item under a business name, you're a legitimate business, because now you're liable for the tax on what you just flipped. See, I can get real deep on how to make money with this stuff. Now making other money, I can show you. Like the real money is made in global commerce. That's where real money is made. Anything that is bought and sold in the United States is produced somewhere else. It's just imported here. Leather goods, furniture, whatever. A lot of stuff like electronics, all that stuff is manufactured in another country, and it's imported to the United States because whoever imports it, they buy it in bulk in order to resell. You just got to pay the import taxes and all that stuff if you bring it in that way. The way that I like to do it, for instance, I got business associates and partners in, let's say, Brazil. I'm gonna give you an example. If you ever go to Brazil and let's say you lose your phone, your iPhone, and you're in Brazil. You walk into an Apple store down there, they're gonna beat you over the head with a club from the caveman days. You're gonna be like, whoa. An iPhone 13 Pro Max here, when brand new, costs you about $1,200. In Brazil, it's gonna be like $2,400. Yes, I know. Hey, PPP, I appreciate you, man. I'm doing my best, PPP. Look, you go over to Brazil, the taxes alone will kill you based on the product that you're importing over there. You buy an American product in Brazil, they're gonna rush and sickle you like Nikita Koloff. Straight up. So what I tell people is this: here's how you can make money doing that. You find people in these various jurisdictions that do not have access to devices that you have access to. And you can go to any of these little knockoff phone stores, right? This is why most Americans don't do this stuff, because they don't know about it. They don't know how to do it. You don't have the resources outside the country. What you do, you could go and buy a bunch of iPhone 10 and 11s. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own two eyes. And I talk to people almost every day in another country, and they tell me the craziest stuff. You can go and get, let's say, 10 iPhone 11s. You can buy 10 iPhone 11s at, what you can get them for today? $300 on eBay. If you have the resources in another country, like real contacts, they will buy those phones from you for $500. Even $800. They treat old iPhones as if they're brand new. I'm telling you, they'll rob you for an old iPhone down there. If you go down there, if you got an iPhone 7, they'll rob you for it. I'm telling you. You can get those phones unlocked. That's right, Fish. Yep. You can take an unlocked phone and sell it over there for a 200% mock-up. And they'll buy it, gladly buy it. As long as it's in good condition. They can't be like something you ran over with your car. But if it's in good condition, they'll buy it from you. See, I have resources down. I have a guy, a Brazilian guy that I know. He comes back and forth to Miami buying phones and going back home. Now, if you're doing that, they have a certain amount you can bring in and out like that, and they're going to hit you with a tax and all that down. But he don't care, because he just replaces it in bulk. Whatever they hit him for, he just goes down and do a deal, and he basically wipes out the tax. So he does fine, because he owns stores down there where they sell this stuff at. But this is another way you can make money. Making money overseas is your best bet, because the value of the American economy quadruples most economies, which means our money is 4-1 or 5-1. That's 5-1 in Brazil. So our money more than quadruples the capital valuation of a Brazil or some of these African nations or something like that. Now, where you can make your money is in objects and goods that they don't produce there, or if they do produce it, you want to find an item or product that they don't produce and you can sell it there. You just got to have the partnerships with the people who have the export capability or export licenses. All my partners have export licenses in various countries. I got about 9 or 10 partners in different countries. I can name them all. Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil, Cote d'Ivoire, Botswana, Cameroon, places like that. You know, Spain, Portugal, wherever. I got a lot of them. Mostly in South America though. But the key to that is getting your hands on products that people will actually buy that have value in those jurisdictions. Simple as that. That's how you do it. And if you can assimilate to valuation and economics in various places, you can understand the disparity in these places. Because what goes for a certain value in America goes for a way greater value in another place. So it's no different than taking your American dollar and spending it in another country and you get 5 times the money. So if you have $100 in America, you have $500 in Brazil. And the funny thing about it is the price doesn't even stay the same, because a meal in the United States at a very expensive steakhouse costs you $150 for you and your girl, or for you girls, you and your guy. In Brazil, it'll cost you $40. Same meal. Shout out Elaine. Elaine showed the pictures when he went down to Colombia. The same stuff. He was getting octopus and all kinds of stuff. Stuff that's real expensive here. But when you go overseas, the disparity in the cost and the price is a whole lot different. I got friends that tell me they can't even afford to cook. Listen to how it sounds. You can't afford to cook. It's more expensive to buy groceries and cook in these places than it would be for you to go out to eat. And that's just for the Americans in different cities, in different countries. I'm not talking about for the locals. The locals, is more advantageous for them to cook, because their income monthly is something around $400 or $500 a month. So they're not making a lot of money. But in most of these places, an American going down there, it's not advantageous for you to cook meals and buy at the grocery store. It's more advantageous for you to actually go and out to eat. Disparity of cost and price in your pocket, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, I'm going too far off track. So back to making this money. What I want y'all to realize is what's in your pocket and what's in your hand has more value if it's working outside of your pocket and your hand. $100 in my pocket, you feel good. You're like, I got $100. But guess what the problem is with that? That $100 is everywhere that you are, which is nowhere. I mean, it's nowhere in terms of doing anything for you. See, people take pride in whipping out a big knot with about $2,000 rolled up with a money clip on it, right? You say, oh, shoot, man, I got $2,000 in my pocket. Well, the problem with that is that $2,000 isn't making you any money because it's on you. It's in your bank account. It's stuck with you. So is it beneficial to you to have it? Yeah, if you need to spend it. Money is only valuable to you if you have to spend it. Remember that. Only if you have to spend your $500 or your $1,000 or $2,000 in your pocket is beneficial to you, but only when you have to spend it. But guess what? Most average Americans aren't spending $1,000 in cash a day. You might spend a couple hundred a day for something, or you might pay a bill or something, but most Americans aren't walking around with $3,000 in their pocket. Some of them don't have $3,000 in their bank account. Some of them don't have $3,000 to mess around with for about 3 to 6 months. Most people waiting on tax time to come around. to get that 3 to 4 grand back every year. So I know for a fact most people ain't walking around with it on their pocket or in on their person, right? So my credence is, why keep it on me when I can put it in the vehicle of an entity that's doing way more with it or can accomplish way more with it and give me a kickback because they're using my money? I'll tell you something else. Think about a credit card. See, most people will take a credit card and they'll say, oh my God, credit, let me go and spend something on my credit card and blah, blah, blah. And they don't want to use it, or they do want to use it, or whatever the case may be. There are no rewards or points and rewards coming off some of these things. So you're not advantageous to even use those. But if you're using those points and rewards cards, the reason why they're giving you points and rewards from the card issuer is because they're doing the same thing with their money that you should be doing with your money. And what is that? They are telling everybody in the world, we are American Express Bank. We can't go everywhere and use our cards. We can only be where we are. But guess what? How do we get our money into the hands of the public so that we can earn more off of the use of said money? Well, guess what they do? They pass out credit cards. So now American Express's money is in the pockets of all these thousands and thousands of people to go out and use. And they're going to charge you a fee for using it, of course. But that's how they make their money, because they're extending their money to the public to use so that they can charge a fee. And they're making real good money off doing that too. We all know that. They're putting credit in the hands of people who have to repay that. That's their money. They extend you their credit, they're extending you their money. And what they do when they give you a card, once you've proven the capability to be able to pay said thing back, they reward you for being them, because they can't go in the store and swipe their own cards. If American Express gave every employee to have a card and say, go out and run our credit, spend this money, they couldn't even do it. It's too much money and not enough people. So they got to extend those lines to everybody out there to go and use. Okay? You put that credit card in somebody's hand and say, go spend it, and you pay us a fee for using our money. And that's not it. They're even more intelligent than that. Now they're charging the merchant. So when you go to the store with that card, you swipe it. Now the merchant's getting a kickback. No, I'm sorry, the merchant is paying a kickback to American Express. They're charging them anywhere from 2 to 3% to even swipe the card. They're getting over like a fat cat. They're charging you to have access to the cash on the card, and they're charging the merchant for even swiping it. God dang it, boy, ain't that a lick? And most people don't even think about that. They're just running around. Oh, I'm just going to swipe the card, use the card, but they know exactly what they're doing. And they have thousands of people doing the same thing. Imagine, it's you running around with that card in your pocket, and it's everywhere you're going, spend it. Imagine if you swipe that card at 10 stores. You might go to Krispy Kreme. Shout out to Unc, because we don't have Krispy Kreme uniforms, me, PPP, or Riz, or Shooter. So leave us alone. But we go to Krispy Kreme. You go to the mall. You go to Taco Bell. You go to the tire oil change place. And you guess what? You swipe your card. Boop, boop, boop. Now, since you swipe the card, they're going to say thank you for being where we can't be and using our credit and making us money. Now we can charge the merchant every time they hit that card. And that's what they do. The merchant pays a fee. They make money. They give you a kickback, and you get to use it on points and travel and whatever else. You can statement credits or whatever you want to do. Big tight, say fresh Krispy Kreme. But this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to put their money in the hands of other people so they make money off of your labor and you're running around. You become them when you charge your card at a store. They can't be there to do it, so they give it to you to do it so they can charge the merchant. Boy, isn't that wise? So what I'm trying to tell y'all to do is the same thing. Now you're going to take your money and put it in the hands of somebody, and you're going to charge them for using your money. You're going to flip the role around. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all what to do. That's how you're supposed to do it. Because you don't see American Express walking around with all their cards in their pocket. I've got all these credit cards. I'm American Express. Look at all these gold cards, platinum cards I got. I got all this gold and platinum on me. And it's stunting, you know. Oh, look at all these credit cards. People going to look at them like, yeah, but you ain't making no money with it. You just got it. So they said, yeah, well, we'll just give it to y'all. Y'all go use it and bring me back my money. Like a pin. So I'm saying that we should be doing the same thing. The vehicles to do such are already in place. The money-making vehicles are already out there. All you got to do is plug and play. Listen, we are not reinventing the wheel, everybody. We're just using the game that's been laid out. The only people that are taking advantage of it are the people that got access to know what they're doing. And we fail because we have a lack of knowledge and understanding. Not because we don't have access. We fail because we don't know what to do. And no one's ever had a live like this to tell you this stuff. That's why Quantum is here. Quantum. Shout out T Money and Mello. Quantum. Hey, man. This is why I love to do what I love. I love talking about finance and money because I love to educate people. That's one thing I pride myself on. I love to teach. Whether it's how do you break somebody down and fold them like a cheap suit, or teach you how to put money in your pocket and sustain yourself and your family. I love teaching either way. All right. So remember, when you take your cash that's in your account, put it to use to where it's making you money. And if you need to access your money, you can always sell your stock and get your money out. Now, here's another thing. When someone says, hey, invest in my car wash or my ice cream truck or whatever they got going on, you got to ask yourself to ask them, what's the turnaround time to liquidity here? I'm going to repeat that. Very, very important, good people. Ask anyone that's asking you to invest in their venture. Ask them, point blank, period, directly. What is the turnaround time on liquidity? If I need to gain liquidity, how fast can I see liquidity? Now, they're all going to say, you a couple days, bull crap. Because if I put my money into your ice cream truck and you ain't selling enough ice cream, I'm not going to be able to withdraw any money out of that if I need it. That's why people are going to whole life policies and things like that. Put your money in a whole life insurance policy that you can get money. It's not going to earn any money, but it'll lock your money in. It ain't going to do crazy numbers or anything like that, but at least your money is secure. But I'm talking about owning a security where you take and you buy a security, and a security being a stock or a bond or a municipal bond or muni or an annuity or a debenture or any of that stuff you can buy. You buy one, you watch it grow or watch it trade. And for the most part, if it's an S&P 500 company, it's going to hover sometimes. It's going to go up, it's going to go down a little bit. But for the most part, the generalities of your investment are going to always be more than likely secure. Okay? It's always going to be more than likely secure in what it is. So if that being the case, remember, you can always go out and pull from that investment if you so desire and you need the money. So let's say you got a house and a roof has a leak and you got to go out and fix the roof. Oh man, I ain't got no liquid. Go and liquidate one of your stocks. That's it, because it's probably going to have an increase on it. So you'll be able to pull out whatever you want, or you can borrow against your stock. You can borrow against it and pull that out. But you have to repay it, obviously. But the stock is there as the collateral piece. Let's see, Fishbug. Fishbug says, this is something I'm starting to do, Quantum. I had a credit card for the longest just for emergencies and never use it. Now I'm using it and paying it right off to avoid interest and get point. See, Fishbug got the picture, man. This is what I'm talking about, Fish. You want to be able to use the card only to earn the increase and then pay it off. If you sit on the debt, then it's not going to be advantageous at all. If you sit on what is the value of it, if you sit on that card, the value of the credit you just created when you go and spend, and you wait until the cycle comes around, they'll hit you with interest. Now you're paying them money. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to sit on a credit card balance longer than 30 days, in my estimation. And if you can, use it like a debit card and pay it right off. Like, I treat mine like a debit card. So let's say I got $500. If I have $500 in my bank account and $500 in credit, or let's say $1,000 in credit, I will, if I'm gonna need to spend my $500 in debit card purchase for whatever reason, despite of what I got going on, I'm going to use my credit card in place of my debit card, the $300 to $500 or whatever I'm spending. And then once I get to that number, I'm gonna stop spending on my credit card, and I'm gonna take the money that's in the account from my debit card, and I'm gonna pay the credit card. And now I get the points and the product that I buy. Okay? That's the idea. Okay? So you want to learn how to do that. Big tight. Big tight, we do not have on fresh Krispy Kreme outfits. That's so funny, man. Oh my God, PPP. Hey man, I'm saying this is good information, man, for everybody. This is good for everyone, man. This is good for everybody. Everybody needs to know this stuff. There's no one-off piece of information. Everybody has to know what I'm talking about. If you want to be sustainable in your life, where you don't wake up and go to bed every day wondering, okay, man, I might have something this month, I might not, this may happen. You got to get active with this stuff, okay? You have to be willing to go and just jump in. Because like I said before, everybody, if you have an extra $20, imagine you spend 20 or 30 bucks on nothing at the movies or something. You know, you might go out and buy wings for the night, $35. Right there, just wings. Why would you go and buy wings every Friday night? You at the wing shop, buying wings, $35, $45 with the celery sticks and carrot sticks and all of that. But you don't have an investment portfolio set aside. And that same type of little money you spending on that stuff, buy stock. I don't care if the stock is worth $8. Buy it. Especially if you can track the growth and the trajectory of that specific stock to see exactly where it goes. You can monitor that stuff. You can see the ideology behind everyone that's participating on that thing. You can see it. And that's why you should do it. Yeah. Yo, Miller say facts, PPP. Yeah, man. So I'm telling y'all, let me see. Fish Bub, he says, Quantum, can you drop some books or something that can help people get a gain basic understanding of financial literacy? Yeah, man. Think and Grow Rich series, number one. I would start there. The Think and Grow Rich series. It's enough books in that series to last you for 3 to 5 years. I like buying various books and things like that. The Napoleon Hill series are amazing, man. Now, because when he wrote these books, they were from a different time period in the world, but they're still applicable today. It's like the Bible. Some of the principles in there are still applicable. I would start with the Think and Grow Rich series by Napoleon Hill. All right. Then obviously you have the Robert Kiyosaki of the world. You have his books, which are all good. There are so many, man. We'll be on here all night talking about books. I can go and give you a list, but I wouldn't want to do that yet because I think there's a lot of value in the Think and Grow Rich series first. You can get the Secrets of Success, Think and Grow Rich. It's a whole, he probably got about 5 or 6 books in that entire chain of books. Start there. And what happens is you'll notice the books about how to win over people. Carnegie, one of the Carnegies wrote that one. Then you have Stephen J. Covey, the 7 Habits of Success or whatever. The 7 Habits of Successful People. I take that back. You got that one, Stephen J. Covey. It's so many, man. It's a lot of books, man. The Rules of Work. Kipling wrote that one. It's so many, man. But I would, like I said, I would start with the Think and Grow Rich, the Napoleon Hill books. Masterful, man. Masterful, Fishbowl. Masterful. Think and Grow Rich, man. Let's see. Fishbowl says, I think a lot of people get intimidated by definitions, basic concepts, etc. Something to help get past the that level. Yeah, man. The Think and Grow Rich series are the ones that'll elevate your mindset and put you in the frame of reference of thinking. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I was reading The Secrets of Success. That book is thick, man. That thing is like 3 inches thick. And I was reading, and then I can't even get through 3 pages because as soon as I start reading, my brain starts firing, and now I'm thinking of things. I'm like, crap, I can't even get through a chapter because it's so good. I'll start reading, and all of a sudden, I'll zone out and start thinking of, because what he's saying in the book fires certain things in my brain, and it's making me think of, okay, I need to apply. How can I apply this? And I'm thinking of different things I can do with that knowledge. And I'm like, dang, I can never get through a chapter every time I read it. I'm reading 4 or 5 pages at a time because the moment I start reading it, it fires something in my cognition. And my receptors all start firing, man, like pistons in an engine. And before you know it, I look at the clock, and I've been sitting there thinking for 35 minutes. I'm like, dang, I ain't even read anything past this because what he said fired me up. Let me see. 336. He says, are you saying... Oh, no. It's think, like thinking, like think like a man. THINK 336. Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. Let me see. I'll put it right here for you. Let me see. Think and Grow Rich. You can get them on Amazon, everywhere, right there. All right. Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. That's it. So that's it. That's it. 336. Think and Grow Rich. And it's funny about this guy. He wrote these books at the turn of the century, like in the early 1900s or something like that. The first quarter of the 1900s, he wrote these books. And I'm like flabbergasted of how applicable the knowledge in those books still is. It's still very, very applicable. You'll go reading this stuff, man, and you'll notice that what he's talking about in there, although you'll notice that the numbers are a little off, he'll talk about, oh, I gave this guy $500, and you'll be like, 500 ain't a lot. But the principle behind what he's doing, the only thing that you'll notice, the only thing that's changed is the time period, because people still think the same way. It's just inflation has increased since 1925, and now 100 years later at 2025, $500 is now $2,500, if you want to look at it that way. So if you gave a guy $500 back in 1925, it's almost like giving him $2,500 or $3,500 today. So back then, that was considered a lot of money. Today, that's still considered a lot of money. But if I give somebody $500 today, you know, it's as a loan, you're like, hey, man, my $500, man, you want that back. Hey, we've heard people make bets on our lives, man, and people come for, they want their money. $50, they want to collect that. The mentality of people still has not changed. It's still the same. So the only thing that has changed is the time period. And with that time period has produced more opportunity. Because what was back then when Napoleon wrote those books, none of that opportunity. There was no Instagram or buying stocks on your phone like Robinhood and stuff like that. Stuff didn't exist. There was no computers. Cars barely had air conditioning in it back then. So that's a different time period. And even then, the principles of those books still reign supreme. I want you guys to buy it. Tell me what you think when you start reading. Just get The Secrets of Success. That's the one I like. That one will blow your mind. Yeah. Let me see. I might even go to let me see something. I'm gonna see if I can find it so I can give you guys because he's got so many of it. Let me see. And I'm gonna put it on the screen so everybody can see it. Let's see, Secrets of Success. Okay, so he's got the law of success. So let me show y'all something. Let me show you my screen. Right here. All right. Can y'all see my screen? See this? This is Napoleon Hill, godfather of knowledge and business back in the day. See this guy? He published this book in 1928. Y'all see that? That's almost 100 years ago, right? Almost 100 years ago. This is just one of the books. This is one of his first ones. This ain't even one of the ones that they have remastered and enhanced or whatever. But this is the Law of Success. Man, this book right here will open up your entire understanding of money. Okay? That book in and of itself will teach you the various obstacles about how the human mind thinks. And let me tell y'all something. It's not, and this is something I should have said before I brought this up. Forget this for a second. Let's put Napoleon Hill on the back burner. Let me show y'all something what y'all need to look at first. Right here. All right. See this guy, Earl Nightingale. Born March 12th, 1921. Died in 1989. It's the reason why I bring this guy up. Let me share something with y'all. Before you even start looking at Napoleon Hill, to be able to absorb the knowledge and the data that he so eloquently elaborates in his manuscript, to absorb that information, you want to start with this guy. I read, he's got some stuff, man. Earl Nightingale. What this is about, this ain't even about money. His books teach you how to develop your mental self-image, is what he calls that. He teaches you how to see yourself differently. Because I'm gonna tell you something, you might have a regular job making good money. You may make 100 grand a year, 80 grand a year, making decent, pretty good money. But you might not have financial literacy, right? You might have the money, but you might not have the financial literacy. And then you might see yourself a certain way, like I'm just a blue collar worker making good money, but I'm just a blue collar worker. It's how you see yourself. So most people, the reason they don't invest is not because they don't have access, not because they don't have the money. It's because some of them don't have the self-image to believe that they are that kind of person, because they get intimidated when they see Warren Buffett walking around up there. Warren Buffett and all these big time investors, walking around and doing what they do. Your Jack Ma's of the world and all those dudes swinging for the fences, making that big money. And so you see yourself in a way to where you don't believe that it's possible for you. So you might have the money, but what ends up happening is you fall back to the fetal position like a kid, and you start doing what you've grown up to learn and what your dad taught you or your mom taught you, and you really never develop any skills or any ideology of yourself because you've listened to what other people have said about you your entire life. So you don't have an image that you see that's valuable enough to recognize the opportunity to invest money or to take said money and grow it for you and your family. That happens a lot. So there you go, fishbowl. You just hit it, brother. Scarcity mentality. See, that's because they don't believe that things are possible and they're not attainable. So they'll say, we need to hoard what we got because we're worried about losing something. And that produces the scarcity mentality when abundance is not there. And what Earl Nightingale teaches you is how to think in abundance. Okay, let me show you. Let me give you another one. Who I read all his books. This guy right here, Bob Proctor, Born Rich. Oh my God, this is a good book, y'all. Let me tell you something. This dude, he took Earl Nightingale's philosophy and reshaped it to a more modern approach. Okay, he just passed away, man, and I was sad to hear it because he was so innovative. He was he's educated people all over the place, man. This guy he was educating all of the Silicon Valley bigwigs. He was educating people on Wall Street. He was educating YouTubers, man, on how to think and how to produce a mindset that you can harvest the ability to take said money and to grow said money. The way this guy saw money, the way he saw the economy, the way he saw the mentality in people, woo, boy. This guy right here was powerful, man. Bob Proctor. Yo, if you haven't heard of him, now you have. Born Rich. I have this book. Really good book. Yeah. So you want to be able to take advantage of what these guys are talking about and apply it. Okay? Apply this information to your daily lives. And so before you get crazy in investing, you got to understand who you are. All right? Start with these guys. Your Earl Nightingale, your Napoleon Hill, your Bob Proctor, to get an understanding of what's what and how these guys are actually producing the stuff that they're talking about. And then you'll look at, on a whole, how to take this information and how to take yourself to the next level. Okay? This is how I do it. This is how I develop the mentality that I have. I just basically apply the knowledge that I study and read about, and then I go and do the research. But you cannot be lazy. All right? You cannot be lazy. You have to be willing to do the work. And to do that, you have to be able to see yourself a certain way, because this happens to people. Like a lot of us grew up in the hood. A lot of us grew up in underprivileged communities or whatever have you. And we didn't have access to money, or people that had access to money. So we never developed the right mentality about money and how to go out and make it work. So we just learn how to hustle. Hustling is beautiful. But what's the point of being able to hustle if you don't have access to the things that hustlers have access to grow? All right. So we're going to want to learn how to see it that way. We're going to have to learn how to see our livelihood in a sense to where what we're doing makes sense. And everything I talked about in an hour ago when we first started this live was about how to make money, how to take money and grow money. That's all beautiful. But start here if you can. If you're going to look up books and read books, these are good ones. I'm going to show you another one. All right. Let me see. This guy right here, he wrote this book right here. This is a really good book. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey. I got this book right now. Really good book. Sold 15 million of these. This dude, let me just blow this up a little bit so everybody can see it. All right, see? So this is a good self-help book that teaches you how to effectively navigate the landscape of people, money, personal challenges. It helps you get over the mental blocks. See, there's a certain requirement to being in a position to understand finance and get yourself in a position where you can build it. You have to be able to get over certain mental roadblocks so you can scale the wall, so to speak. Okay? This book will teach you, and again, this guy has done a lot of work with politicians, celebrities, political figures, all people from all walks of life. This guy is educated or helped to shape their mental capacity and expand their horizon. When you study a guy like this, he's going to show you how to conquer the ideology of learning how to adapt one's mental capacity and how to expand one's mental capacity to be successful. See, once you learn how to open up those locked doors in your mind, what's going to happen is you're going to find out that a guy like that or guys like this, see this? He talks about proactivity. Begin with the end in mind. Put first things first. I mean, think win-win. It just shows you how to think. Like, a lot of our minds have to be reprogrammed, everybody. That's what this is all about. Okay? How to reprogram one's mind. All right? So basically, you're learning how to reset what's been set and been entrenched for so long. That's when it comes to making money. 2025, I want everybody to be prosperous. I don't give a crap. I have no enemies in my life. I have no haters that I know about because I give too much value. I give away too much for free. I give away love and respect and education and whatever I got, I give it to people because I want people to be successful. I love people. That's one thing about me. But I want the right people to have the right information and the right access. So that's why I do what I do. I want everybody to be able to take advantage of good things. It's too much prosperity in this world for anyone to suffer, right? I don't believe anyone should be suffering, especially if they want the information and they want the knowledge, then you give it to them. Let them go out and do their thing. Because even if I give you knowledge or information and you do better with it than I did with it, then that's a pat on my back, because I was instrumental in giving you that opportunity to say, hey, man, this is something you didn't know about. Go run with it. Do your thing. Because I believe in building people and building relationships and building trust and all that good stuff. That's what I like. I see y'all ain't coming up. Nobody's hitting the link. Oh. It's all good, man. We're all in here listening. Sometimes education is what we need. We need a professor or a proctor to stand at the front of the classroom and just share the knowledge. Put it on the projector and everybody just take their notes. It's cool, man. I understand. It's all good. But hopefully the information is good, because this is what I want people to take advantage of. It's easy. Like I said, guys, it's easy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's easy. We can talk about our sports and stuff. That's wonderful. It's lovely. We have a good time. But the thing about it is, at some point, you got to broach the real topics. I mean, that's good. That's only one quadrant of your life is sports, but that's all entertainment. Entertainment is good. But hey, there's no happiness without finance. Your girl be looking at you with a mouth crooked if the bills ain't paid. Amen. 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 Hey, we all know how it go. It's okay to want to do those things and to, play the game and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you better have something. You better have something you can talk about, or a way that you could try to, turn something into some bread. And this is how you do it. Okay. And there are other ways too, by the way. Then it's about increasing your skill sets so you can offer more value, because you could still work a job, but obviously you either have to get more certifications so you get promotions, or you need to start a business, or you can get into real estate, buying and selling. You can get into wholesaling with real estate, futures contracts, options contracts, things like that. So that's where I'm at with it, everybody. I just wanted to drop a little bit of information on this. I got another live to get on here in about 35 minutes with my good brothers Elaine and BJ. Hey, if y'all don't want to come up, y'all can throw me some questions in the chat, and I'll go down them and answer some. We can just do a question and answering session if y'all want. Just throw a question in the chat. I hit it up. Let's see. Big Tight can't come on right now, but I got you, Tight. Tight, we good, brother. I'll be on your show too, the next opportunity, brother, because I was supposed to try to get on your show the other night, man, but I had to go and teach class. One of the associate instructors, one of the instructors had to handle something, so I had to go and fill in. So I missed your live that night. I was gonna get on, but I had to bounce, man. Had to teach. You know how it go. But it's all good, Big Tight. Hey, everybody, go visit Big Tight on his channel, Big Tight. He does an amazing sports channel. If you're listening and you're not familiar with who he is, great guy, wonderful personality, great knowledge about football, played tight end in college. So he understands the game. And go and get a perspective from Big Tight. All right. So no doubt, Big Tight, I got you, bro. It's all good. Let me see. All right, yes, sir, my brother. I appreciate that. I hope, the knowledge is good. I appreciate you, 336. That's my guy right there, man. Me and 336, boy. Hey, 336 is my guy. I love that dude. I love the way he makes his points in a very calm demeanor. Hey, 336 be like, nah, watch this though, Quantum. I tell you, but you know how it goes. Well, let me ask you this. Well, Quantum, why you think Bryce ain't doing this, Quantum? Now tell me that. 336, he killing me, boy. But that's my dude, man. I appreciate you, 336, for pulling up, man. You know, I appreciate you giving me those flowers, man. You know, I had to get you, 336. Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? I want y'all to do me a favor. If y'all still watching, anyone still watching, that's all you guys. If y'all still looking, y'all put right here in the chat, man, what type of show y'all want to hear me cover. Because like I said, I don't want to talk about things y'all don't want to hear. I don't want to be bloviating and freaking filibustering for 3 hours. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Look. He say 56 months, they good people. Shout out Lakers beat Boston. Big Tight, he got you, 336. For Big Tight. Y'all dudes are crazy, man. Y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all y'all tell me something. Y'all put in the chat. Cause like I said, I can talk about pretty much a lot of things because I'm an old man now. So I got a lot of experience in a lot of areas. I do a lot of things, especially in business. I can talk about business. I can talk about finances. I can talk about sports, martial arts, combat, boxing, MMA. We can talk about investments. We can talk about real estate. I have a little bit of experience in a lot of things. I'm not a savant, but I know what I know, and I know how to apply what I know. You guys just tell me what y'all want to talk about. Like I have those topics to discuss all the time. I'll drop a show from here and there. It goes from everything from style and men's improvement, things like that. And then I'll kind of go with the flow of how I see people are interacting in the YouTube space and what I think they need to hear. And I'll just drop knowledge around that. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Be Good. What up, man? What's happening, Be Good? That's my fellow martial arts brother right there. Be Good, the Terminator. He'll dismantle you. Put some respect on his name. He said, shout out to them Blue Devils. The only good team in North Carolina right now. Be Good. Hopefully we're going to change that, man. Hopefully we'll be able to change that, bro. We got talent on a lot of the teams here. We just got to put it together, man. Hey, Be Good. You left out one. What about the MLS, the Charlotte Football Club? Our MLS team kicking butt. We made the playoffs, bro. 2 years in a row. Gotta love that. Yeah, baby. Hey, Tepper did something right. He got the MLS team. At least they winning games going to the playoffs. And they're good, too. Really good. Let's see. Fishbub says, I think just basic financial literacy, really, dude. I like to see people gain the confidence through knowledge. Thanks for giving us your time like this. Hey, man, Fishbub, you know you one of my day ones, brother. Always got respect for you, Fishbub. I love how you come in and drop knowledge, man, and good questions, good dialogue. You like dressing, too. You like style, just like I do. You're a very well-rounded guy, Fishbub. I can tell that. But I've never spoken to you. But I'd love the opportunity to speak with you one day, brother. Just kind of, share some things back and forth with you, bro. I would love that opportunity one day. It would be a blessing, my brother. Let's see. Be Good. He said MLS ain't got nothing on them Euro League. That's true, Be Good. The Euro Leagues, I think when MLS first started, I think they were looked at like they were going to be like the semi-pros to the world soccer leagues or whatever. I think that was the way it was perceived in the beginning. But since then, all of these teams have learned to the markets have grown, man. That's why the entry fees are like $300 million or something like that now. Because at a time it was like 60 million or something to get in. I remember when it was like 40 million or 30 million or something. Like 10 years ago, it was like nothing to get an MLS team if they would approve your market. So it's all about markets. What can the market produce? It's business, man. Everything comes back to business. So, but yeah, them Euro leagues are on another level, man. They've been playing soccer since like the early part of the century, man. Since like the early 1900s. I mean, they got old teams. They've been playing soccer for a long time, and those teams are really good. And they make a lot of money, man. Those Euro leagues are dominant. It's like The Euro leagues are like the NFL, or our leagues are dominant here. Their leagues are dominant over there. It's kind of the same situation. Big Tight, thanks for the shout out, Quantum. Hey, man, Big Tight, you know it, brother. You my brother in arms, man. We talk all the time, Tight. You know how it is, man. I'm always going to throw shout out where I see it for you, man. If I can give it to you and throw it at you, you know I'll do it. Much love to you on that one, my brother. Anytime, Big Tight. Hey, you know what, Fishbowl? Fishbowl said, I appreciate that, man. Hey, like I said, Fish, I like your perspective, bro. You throw a lot of good information out there when we do dialogue all the time. I see you in all the other chats all the time. And you and I will kind of have little side conversations about credit and all this stuff. And I think what happened is you and I be talking to sometimes in these chats, like on Unk's channel or PPB's channel. And then, you have Donna B or somebody will make a comment over there and they'll say, hey, you got somebody that do credit and all. They'll hit me with a side comment and I'll respond or whatever. So that stuff sparks a lot of interest when you and I go back and forth about certain things like that, Fish. Let's see, club system and European soccer is really interesting to me. It is interesting, Fishbowl, because you just never. It's like I'm trying to. Soccer worldwide is just insane. It just, for some reason, in the United States, it wasn't the main draw forever. It's always been around, but no one really thought about making it a super pro league like until MLS started. Because at first it was the USPL or the USFL, I think, which we had a USFL team, the Independents here in Charlotte. And then it kind of grew, man, and then all these teams started sprouting up out of nowhere. But remember, countries like Mexico and all in the Caribbean and Africa, different countries in Africa, different countries in South America like Brazil and Argentina and Peru, all these places, man, they've always embodied soccer. It's been a global thing more than anything. Soccer has been global. I don't know why we were the last to kind of get into it. We were always in the pastime sports like baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Stuff like hockey came out of Canada, obviously, but we have only really gravitated to those types of sports. We really didn't do all the other stuff. To boxing was a global sport. Boxing's been global since it began in England under the Queensborough rules back in the day. So that's a global sport. So that's a whole different game. Let me see. Be good. He said no MLS team going to beat the Barcelona, PSG, or Real Madrid. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that. Be good. Those are powerhouse franchises and clubs, man. Good luck trying to beat them dudes. They got years of experience. They know how to pick coaches. They know how to put staffs together. They know how to pick their players. Those teams have everything they need, man. They know exactly what to do. Those clubs, it's like a way of life, man. Soccer is a way of life over there. It's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So Be good. Say the USA soccer program charges more than any other sport in the USA. They handicap their talent. Yeah, they do. I don't know why. Be good. I don't know why they handicap the talent, man. Is it that they don't want to compete with some of the larger outfits overseas when it comes to signing top quality talent and luring them to the United States? Has that got something to do with it? Maybe they don't want to pay the same kind of money. I don't know. I never really invested in understanding soccer to that degree. I need to get into it, though, more. He says, I was in Trinidad one time during the World Cup. Everyone was glued to the radio or the TV watching everywhere you went. Yep, Trinidad was not in the cup that year either. Yeah, man. Hey, soccer is like the world's biggest sport outside of like boxing. Like if you had to rank it, I would say soccer, then boxing. Because boxing, man, it can be a fighter from anywhere, and they have the whole community behind them from that country, like Cubans and boxers, or Puerto Ricans, or wherever they're from. Englishmen. It doesn't matter where they're from, man. If they're good, they have the support of their community. It's kind of like the MMA. Be good. Same thing. MMA's got the same elements of that. Like you got your Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighters, they have their whole community behind them, like that. But boxing is the same way. You have like De La Hoya's got Mexico behind him. Roberto Duran, same difference. Even the MMA, our boy, what's his name? Black dude with the bald head. That's like one of the Anderson Silva. Same thing. These guys have the support of their communities behind them, man. Big Tight, soccer is the most popular sport. Yep, it is. Be good. It is Big Tight. No denying that, man. Soccer. Think about it. Football just started becoming popularized in the last 50 years outside of the United States. When they had NFL Europa, they could barely even sell the tickets over there like that, man, which is why the league went defunct. Jake Delhomme even played for NFL Europa in Germany. A lot of people don't know that. He won a World Bowl too over there. He won a World Bowl. Jake Delhomme did before he came back to the States and started playing for the Saints. And he was backing up Kurt Warner over there too. Believe it or not, he was Kurt Warner's backup in Europe. Crazy. Yeah, that's right, Fish. That's what I just said. Kurt Warner was the man in Europe, and then Jake Delhomme was backing him up. Yeah, man. Be Good says, here you're going to pay $6 to $8K every 5 to 6 months. You have to be rich to play over here in the United States. Yeah, we have the talent, but you can't afford it. What can you do? That's true, Be Good. We have the talent, but see, the thing about it, Be Good, here's the thing. This goes back to my business stuff again. It's what draws the market and what creates the value, and then what the teams see value in the players to pay them. And some of those countries that are not like playing consistently on the world stage, they don't make enough money to pay. Like, say for instance, take Brazil's team or the Peruvian team, right? They're not paying the same kind of contracts that Real Madrid or FC Barcelona are paying their players. They're not paying that kind of money because those leagues over there, man, although they can pack the stadiums in those third world countries in South America, not all third world countries, but a couple of them may be, not as advantaged as, European countries, but they're not paying the same amount of money to their players either. And that's for good reason, because they don't make that kind of money down there. It's just their economy doesn't support it. They're not highly ranked enough on the global scale to produce the type of money to pay that the European or the American markets will pay. That's your difference right there. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing you can really do in soccer is to jump ship and go to some of the places that they're paying these guys, especially if it's like Ronaldo or Ronaldinho back in the day. Ronaldinho, remember him? Cristiano Ronaldo. Those guys, they were mega stars in their own country, down in Brazil and Chile and places like that down there. They were playing, but they weren't making crazy money like David Beckham was making when he was overseas in the European leagues. And now he's making money in the United States leagues when he was playing. He came over here making bread. See, the two markets, the European leagues and the American leagues, they pay money. They pay a lot of money. Them dudes get paid. They don't make nothing in some of them other countries, though. Them dudes be, I like, dang, they don't pay their guys like they pay them everywhere else, though, because it's the economy, man. It doesn't support, the market doesn't support the revenue requirements. So Be Good. The Euro League pays the players to train. Yeah, they find them when they're like 8 to 10 years old. Yeah, they groom those guys, Be Good. They groom those guys from being like young, and then they just raise them up in the system, and then they learn how to go out there and how to play. Oh, Be Good.
What's going on,
what up,
brother?
Be Good? What's good, brother?
Training.
Appreciate you pulling up, man. What's happening with you?
Like I said, I'm training, bro. I'm just trying to relax. I seen you was live like 10 minutes ago, so I was just listening.
Hey, man, I appreciate you jumping up here, Be Good. I like the way you think, man. I always have. That's one thing I respect about you, brother. Your thinking is always sharp and top tier, man.
I ain't gonna say that when I'm off. I'm crazy. I'll be real with you.
Hey, I
But
can't
on
tell,
that
man.
soccer point, I think the
Yeah,
problem of it is quantum. They United States. When I found out, like, 'cause it's like you said, soccer is not popular over here. But from AAU, all those other sports, soccer, you got to be making the most money. It just shows the powers that be don't want the team to change. You get what I'm saying?
right. I
Too
do.
much, and I think that's the ultimate problem because it's like when we see our guys out here who genetic freaks, I'm talking about dude
Yeah,
6'2", 180, you know what I'm saying, 210, could do backflips and stuff like that.
right.
And let me use Odell Beckham. They said he was good enough to go overseas. Now he chose to stay here, but now think of
Hmm.
him playing soccer. 5'11", 185, you know what I'm saying, got quick feet, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. They never I mean, I just seen how American stuff work. They don't want to change. And all the Euro leagues, they find their kids, like you said, they're young. Stuff they
hmm,
bring them up there, but they investing into the players, and like you said, that's gonna be a long, what I'm saying, process. But they can have huge results for your teams and stuff like that in the future. You know what I'm saying? They bank on the players
facts,
and track.
facts.
It's a world sport, but all that talent, if you don't perform, what happens? Going they kick you out.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, I don't know. See these clubs. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to find talent at a youthful age, man, and they know how to sit on those guys and groom them. Is what they do over there. I've seen them do it. They'll groom these young kids, man, and they become like mega stars by the time they 18 and 19. They've been training these dudes since they were like 8 to 10 years old. Man, these
Yeah,
dudes are so good. They understand the rules and how to play the game within the confines of the league's requirements, and they come out blazing.
yeah,
That's a
it's
fact, man.
entertaining to watch. I mean, I like all sports to be honest with you. So,
Yeah, man.
how they play, but I just think the United States is like we doing the wrong thing. I mean, it take you know what I mean. It's hard to tell
Yeah.
a rich person, hey, give it 10 to 15 years of this development. Throw all your money into the resource. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, and let it build slow.
Right.
Especially in America, America say, hey, we want quick sales now. You know what I'm saying, instead of letting it grow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand that.
Facts. That's how it worked, man. What up, T Money? My guy T Money's in the house, in the background. What's happening, my dear brother? We just up here talking money. We're talking a little bit of sports. My guy Big Good pulled up on us. Fish Bub says, yeah, that tidy guy was playing for Roma since he was 16. That's what Be Good talking about, Fish Bub. I mean, those dudes, man, these teams overseas, man, they have so much money and so much pull in what they do. Oh my God, man. It's like another world.
I
It's
mean,
like,
I can honestly say this. A
yeah,
15-year-old team could possibly beat our kids that play soccer in college. A 15-year-old year
yeah.
old team will kill our college team. That's
Oh
how
yeah,
good they are.
man. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. I think they have a different. Oh, do you remember Be Good back when Tepper first bought the MLS team?
Hmm.
He was negotiating some type of deal with one of those clubs. I think it was Real Madrid, or it could have been Barcelona. It's one of the two. And they were going to build this huge academy to try to bring the same type of training that they experience in Europe. They want to do it here in Charlotte for all of the clubs from overseas. They can come to the United States and train at this facility.
I
And I
wish
was
they
like,
would, but the problem of it is we play a different
yeah,
style than they play.
I know we
It's
do.
like they want them
Yep.
to play. I always say the generic way instead of letting kids.
Right.
Like, I mean, when I hear people, they say when you want kids to play, you want them to have their own little feel of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Not say just be
Yeah.
fancy, but then they're like, hey, just pass the ball right here. Just doing that generic stuff. Generic don't win. I mean,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? Especially on United States level.
Right. Right. Yeah, they have a more of a homegrown approach to it. America likes to create their own stuff, man, and try to, they want to homogenize everything, which is okay,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be nearly as popular.
Better. It's not gonna be better.
No,
And
it's
that's
not.
the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring that up on all types of other things too. I ain't trying to make nothing political. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You can look at
Yeah,
certain
man.
things, what they do. I'm like, you know what? Let's try to do that. But America said,
Right.
no, we don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why?
Facts.
I'm like, but it's better. It's better. You know, ways we can do this. You know what I'm saying? We just look at other countries. But
Right.
a lot of people
Right.
say America, we do it our way. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main problem.
Right. We do it our way. And that's the thing, man. Is it advantageous to operate that way? Not over the long haul, it's not. Because our league, when you think of the MLS,
Retirement league.
yeah, man, I hate to say it, man. Because if you think about it, people, it's crazy because people that like soccer that play in the United States, obviously they've heard of FC Barcelona and Real Madrid and all these teams from overseas, but have they heard of our teams, or have they heard of the LA Galaxy? And no, it's not reciprocal. It's a one-way thing.
Yeah.
Goes to show you.
I mean, it's just when they brought Messi here, it's just, and I'm not the biggest fan of Messi. I don't care for anybody. But everybody say it's gonna change. I was like, bro, you know this. Not too many people want to come play here, is it? Still, it's very. I guess you can say it's a top 10 league. I mean, he was trying to be nice. I say it's right at 10, but if you got a young player, I'm sending them anywhere but the MLS. I'll be honest with you. You want to have a good career because you're gonna make more money overseas anyway.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. You know what it's reminiscent of, in my opinion? When they send, it's almost like this. The big leagues in soccer are overseas, or they're over in Europe, and they send their development players or cast-offs to the States to play in the MLS, right? But watch this.
I mean, I would say the older players.
Yeah, the more of the older guys. They're not going to develop talent here for what they want over there. They're going to develop their own talent normally. But if you think about it, the NBA does the same thing, but they do it the opposite. The NBA sends all the decrepit players overseas to play in Europe. It's almost the same thing.
Much. Yeah, I mean, it's the same
weird
thing when it comes down to it. The only thing I don't like it now, the NBA just be adapting some of those rules. I mean, be having them players walking out there when they play. I can't stand it no more.
I know, man. You're getting an old. It's like you're buying a 1983 BMW versus a 2022. Is almost what you're getting. And you never had a 2022, so the 83 looks pretty good to them. That's generally what the ideology is. Fishbowl say,
I mean, it's just the fact where they be saying now, like, I had a couple guys when they play, because they watching NBA. I don't really watch it no more. They taking 3 steps and I'm calling ball. They're like, nah, bro. I had the hand on top of the ball. You can take as many steps as you want. And I was like, bro, if we ain't in the NBA, you're not playing M1. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you say. And people say you just don't know ball, and I was like, no, you just can't score. You know what I'm saying? That's your problem. So you try to make up a new rule so it helps you score.
Hey, I think that's what's going on, man. They're making the rules lighter so that people can score the ball easier. Because it's what you just said. What Fishbowl say, Beckham, etc., coming to play MLS, like Allen Iverson going to play in Turkey. That's true, man. That's because you're getting. I don't know, how old was David Beckham when he came over here to play, man? When he was like already in his late 30s?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's usually a retirement league. I mean, I know when my favorite player at that time, Zlatan, came over, and you see what he did. He still had like 30-something, 40-something goals. Right.
Yeah, man. That is like you said with the Messi thing. It's the same thing. Messi came, man, and boy, I remember when Messi came to Charlotte to play Miami. My sons was work at the JW uptown, And man, I was out there. I got a YouTube. I got a short on my YouTube about it when all the craziness was going on and Messi came out there. I posted it on my YouTube. You can watch it. Man, that dude came. It was people everywhere. I'm like, what is going on for one dude?
I said,
it was like a rock star, man.
Like I said, he got a coach. I'm more of a Ronaldo fan. I mean,
yeah, I like Ronaldo. Yeah.
I mean, but people love that little dude. I guess since he's so little, you know what I mean? It inspires them. You know what I'm saying? To love him.
Yeah, he walked right past me. And yeah, I think that's what it is, man. What do you think? You remember Ronaldinho?
Yeah.
What you think about him?
You talking about the dude with the hair?
Yeah, with the long hair, right? I think he's Brazilian or is he Portuguese?
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
Brazilian, yeah. Yeah.
The one thing I always question, I used to like, he inspired a lot of people how he played them like 5 years when he. I always wonder, like, because I know what makes it strange to me is like, because it's a world sport and stuff, and I be watching certain people play.
Yeah.
I just wonder why, like, a lot of guys can't do stuff like you know, it's how it's just Brazilians. They really known for being really tricky, and I can say players from France now too. You know what I'm saying? You got your
right.
You good ball handlers. I would think it'd be a whole lot more out there like that, but
right.
But usually it's just, I guess this is just a Brazilian thing. You get what I'm saying? How they handle the ball. I just wonder, like, why people can't replicate it. You know what I'm saying? You know how AI had the, what was it? Say Kenny Hardaway had the crossover in AI. Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? How it kept getting better and better.
Right.
Players can't replicate it and, you know, get better with it.
I'm with you on that, man. I always wondered how and why they don't take root of it. It doesn't take root. You know, it seems to not be able to do that, or maybe they just don't have the skills for it to do that. I don't know. But it'd be nice if it did.
That's what I'm saying, like the skill level, like when it comes
down to it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my favorite player now is they hurt his name more. You know how creative he is with the ball. There ain't nobody can dribble like him.
Right. I
always thought it'd be like another one come out, you know. I mean, because, you know, he's like 30, was he like 34 now or something like that? I just thought it'd be another guy kind of out there, but maybe it is. I just don't know. But
facts. Yeah, hey, man, I think what's going to have to happen, I'm a Hornets fan, right? Man, I was watching the clips from the Hornets. We were playing the T-Wolves. That freaking, what's his name, man? The big dude, center. God,
which one?
Always the center. It's a starting center.
You talking about Charlotte or you talking about Timberwolves?
No, I'm sorry, for Memphis, the Grizzlies. I take that back, Memphis. What's my guy's name? The center. God, I can't remember.
Talking about the big, you talking about that big white guard?
He looked black to me. He looked like a light-skinned black dude, or mixed or something like that.
Okay, I don't know who you talking about.
Bars. This dude, man, was terrorizing it. I was like, man, somebody got to stop this guy. He was swatting everything. He was dunking on it. I'm like, man, who the heck is this dude? Dude was a terror, man. I think he put up like 38 on us or something like that.
Like I said, I can't watch Charlotte no more. I mean, just even like people talk about LaMelo cooking, but I like, bro, he ain't doing that.
Nah, he ain't. I don't know what it is, man. We not able to string together a lot of wins, man. This talent is there, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just how he plays. I just don't know how many guys can really get a feel. Cause I mean, I don't think you're pouring. I mean, I played point guard, so I mean,
oh yeah,
when I was in high school and stuff like that, I was the leading scorer on my team and stuff like that. But I was more of a, when I say passing, you know what I'm saying, try to get everybody. I was more like a Kyrie Irving. I did like to score, but I would put everybody in good position to score. I mean, I wouldn't hold as long as Kyrie would, but you get what I'm saying, try to get everybody to feel it, you know, get a touch. I don't like when a guy dribbles about 20 seconds, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
And try to do something. Because I feel like your teammates going to have to rush the shot when it comes down to it.
Right. So you got this kind of skill set that allows people to get loose and get up in there and make things happen. Where you kind of open up your players and allow them to use their skills and to help the team.
I mean, the reason because they play harder.
Yeah, man.
For some reason it makes people play harder when they touch the ball. So I like
facts. Facts. What PPP say, boss man? Yes, sir. You know what PPP? But yeah, man. Hey, be good. I gotta get ready to jump on the other live because we're gonna do that one in about 10 minutes, man. With the 3 Feet and Rising podcast. Me, Elaine, and BJ.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask you what y'all talking about.
Man, what we do over there, it's usually just we tried in the beginning to do a scripted type of thing, and then we noticed that it was much better if us three just flow off of one another, and it works beautifully well that way. And that's how we do it. We'll like Elaine will have some points that we want to probably broach, but then we'll just let the conversation go based on our feeling for what we're talking about or whatever. So it's never like so much a specific point of reference, but we'll touch on certain topics just to kind of kick it in the right direction, though. So that's how it goes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, I'm about to actually about to go train around like 11. So.
Oh, I hear you. Hey, this one for you. Be good. PPP say he'll dunk on you.
If you can touch the ball, if you can get the ball back. That's the only problem.
Right. Make it take it, be good. For real. Oh, man. Hey, be good. How much training you got left for today, brother?
Like I said, I got 11. I'm going to head down there at 11. We're going to try to work on the game plan, watch the film.
I hear you.
See how that goes. You know what I'm saying? See how you fight, see. So, yeah, come up with a little formula. What I can do. Wake up in the morning. Go train again, then after that, wake up around like 2 or 3, go do a little. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I told you I don't try to run on the road anymore. I try to,
man.
You know what I'm saying, a little soft. I gotta run up a hill 50 times. You know what I'm saying? Up a hill of grass 50 times I will before I run on that concrete.
We got that. So. We got a hill outside our dojo on the side where we're gonna use this summer for people to do just that, running up and down the hill, man. We got all that, big. You welcome to that spot anytime you want to, brother. You know that.
I'm gonna try to come, like I said,
anytime, brother.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna have to, like I said, if you got Elaine number, he can give you my number one. You know what I'm saying? If you ask for
okay,
just hit me up.
I'll do it.
I ain't trying to hold you up. I ain't trying to hold you up. Hold you up for your other show. So.
You good, be good, man. I appreciate you jumping up here, man, and enjoy. Stay safe when you're training, man. I don't want you to get injured while you're trying to get ready for your.
I'm already hurting now as you speak, man. I got a rag on my head, stuff like that already. I had to I tell you on my first session of training, because I'm some you did this like this old school, like 5-minute rounds, 5 new opponents each round.
Wow. Boy, you going hard, man. That's respect right there, brother. I ain't trained like that in a long time, but I enjoy it.
You get what I'm saying, Quantum. You have to build, what you call it up now. We just working on some reviews, see, where I'm kind of lacking at. We ain't going to go too hard, you know what I'm saying, now, but we are going to do some cardio and come up with a game plan. So.
I feel you, man. Well, enjoy your training, my brother. Don't let me hold you. Get back out there and start pumping that sweat, bro. You know how it goes. Us martial artists, we love it. That's what we do it for.
I mean, I wouldn't say I love it. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's in bro. It's in your blood. Appreciate you. Be good. Be good. Hey, I appreciate you pulling up, man. Enjoy the rest of the evening, brother. We'll get up with you, man.
All right, brother.
All right, be good, bro. All right, everybody. I got to get ready to jump on this 3 Feet and Rising podcast for another 2 hours of commentary. But this time, I get to pass the ball to Elaine and BJ. I ain't got to talk the whole time. So I'm going to enjoy that. But listen, we will have another live on finance. I may do one earlier in the week. I may come back up and show y'all some little tips I came across that might help you to pick, your stocks and things like that, how to invest it, how to get in there and see what you can't see, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, PPP, I appreciate you, man. always, for listening and jumping up here, getting in on the commentary. I don't know when you came in, PPP, but you did go back to the beginning of the live. You'll hear some of the stuff I dropped that led up to what I talked. You probably heard it all. I don't know, but if you did, I'm glad you did, brother. Everybody in the chat, shout out to the chat. Everybody that pulled up and listened in. Hopefully, I dropped a little bit of knowledge and jewels for y'all, and we're gonna do it again. Next time, I have more specific information that I think you need to take a look at that will help you to make a more curated financial decision moving forward. All right, everybody, it's your boy Quantum Era. Check me out. Go to the channel. Look at some of the older videos that I did, some of the older lives. Lock in on some of that stuff, man. Learn about different things about finance and how to improve yourself, real estate, all the stuff that I dropped. Go and check it out. All right. So with that being said, everybody, I appreciate it. And we're going to be out.